Okay, so I'm gonna be, I guess, repeating the arguments about the poverty. A study done by David Cooper, who works with the Economic Policy Institute, says that the average affected worker earns half of his or her family's income, and that nearly a quarter, which is about 20% have family incomes below $20,000 per year. And the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services states that the poverty guideline for a family of four is or just under $24,000 a year. But Sarah Fass, who works with the NCCP, which is a group for children in poverty, says that the current poverty level, that is the specific dollar amount, is based on outdated assumptions about family expenditures. Food now comprises only 1/7 of an average family's expenses, while the cost of housing, childcare, healthcare, and transportation have grown disproportionately. So even though they say that the poverty guidelines, or they give the poverty guidelines, it's still kind of inaccurate because they're using it based on data from the 1960s and 70s. For the argument on purchasing power, David Cooper says that in 1968, one full-time year-round minimum wage worker could make about $20,000 a year in today's dollars, which is enough for a family of three to stay above the poverty line. But based on a typical 2,000-hour work year from the 1960 inflation-adjusted minimum wage, that would equal about $17,000 per year, as opposed to $14,000 with the current minimum wage. And for the argument on how it would affect the economy, Melissa Kearney and Benjamin Harris, who write for the Hamilton Project, they bring up this theory about the ripple effect, which is that if you raise the minimum wage, it would also affect wages that are close to it. And if they do raise the minimum wage from $7.25 to $10.10, it could potentially raise the wages for about 35 million workers, or 29.4% of the workforce. Oh, right, and David Cooper also says that across the phase-in period of the increase, GDP would grow by about $22 billion, resulting in the creation of roughly 85,000 new jobs over that period. And it would also help the government with the food stamps. In a study done by the Center for American Progress, it shows that if you increase the minimum wage to $10.10 an hour, it would reduce the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, which provides food stamps, by about 6.5 to 9.2%, which would save the U.S. Department of Agriculture about $4.6 billion a year. And lastly, from Demos, which does a bunch of studies on the economy, Catherine Roychlin did a study on what would happen if large retailers hypothetically raised their wage to $12.25 an hour. So it's just all hypothetical, and it's not really happening. But what could happen is that
You need to stop.
oh, okay, never mind then. I'm gonna say that after.
You still have 4 minutes prep time left.
4 minutes prep time, huh? Okay.